Hey, playa, do you ever find yourself worrying about what the future holds for you? Will you ever find a girlfriend, or will you always be single and alone? Will you ever get a college degree and find a job, or are you going to be out on the streets with nothing to do? Today I want to talk to you guys about how to silence those negative thoughts, the ones that keep intruding and ruining your day simply by being in the present moment. I'm going to share more about that right after this.
This is the Just Beats, you're watching the Just Beef.
For those of you that are new here, my name is Josh, and every single Monday through Friday, I make videos sharing tips, ideas, and stories teaching you how to be your best self. So if you want to learn and grow, hit the subscribe button and make sure to click on the notification bell. Worrying about things is a natural part of life. It's what's kept us alive for so long and prevented us from getting eaten by bears or walking into oncoming traffic. Worrying allows us to kind of focus and pay attention on what's going on to protect ourselves. However, there is a point where being too protected actually hurts our growth. It prevents us from exploring new things in the world, from challenging things, from failing, from actually learning. Instead, we just kind of stay in our bubble and only know the things that we know. This tends to play out in a very kind of odd way in today's day and age. We create scenarios in our head of how things can go wrong, even if they may never even happen the way that we think they might. For example, you might be telling yourself that if you fail your next test, then you're going to get kicked out of your school and you're going to end up living out on the streets. Or if you get rejected by your crush, the whole school is going to make fun of you and it's just going to tear you apart inside. We don't really know for sure if these things would happen, but that's not even the point. It isn't a matter of whether or not something can realistically happen to us. It's simply the idea that it could happen to us that makes us worried and nervous to actually take steps forward to make changes in our life. So how do you prevent this? How do you kick those negative thoughts so they stop intruding on and ruining your life? Well, like I said in the very beginning of the video, it all comes back to being in the present moment. The more you can kind of be in the here and the now, the less you're going to kind of move forward into the future or think about the past and allow it to ruin your experience. And this is something that took me years to finally understand, that whenever I felt like the world was against me or things just weren't working out, or even reflecting on my own past mistakes and bad things I experienced, I knew that in that moment I can always close my eyes, take a deep breath, and breathe out. And that was something that I had full control over. Our minds are constantly bombarded with thoughts, things from our past, things from the future, things going on that we have no control over. But by simply focusing on our breath, by recognizing the air going in and the air going out, and really trying to focus on that, to experience it, to not allow it to passively happen, but to focus on it actively happening, it allows us to kind of put the other stuff aside, even just for a moment. Some people would call that a breathing meditation, and to meditate on something is simply to focus on it deeply. So by focusing deeply on your breath, you're able to kind of be in the here and the now. Now I know a lot of you might be thinking, yeah, but Josh, my problems are a lot worse, and they're not things I can just wish away or not pay attention to. They're always going to be there, so how do I handle them? Think about it like this. Let's say you're walking down a path and there's a really heavy object standing in your way. Now you might get up to that object and tell yourself, well, it's too heavy for me to lift, so I'm not even going to try. Or you can say, well, in the distance, I see that that rock is there. And along the way, I'm going to train myself. I'm going to start exercising. I'm going to start getting fit so that when I get to the rock, I'm able to move it out of the way and continue on my path. Meditation is kind of like that. If you practice your breathing exercises daily, if you really focus on being in the present moment in everything that you do, when you encounter these bigger obstacles, these things that you feel are holding you back or just on your mind 24/7, it's going to be a whole lot easier to move that rock. It's not always going to be in your way. Now, in my book, Embracing the Awkward, I outline different daily mindful exercises that you can start putting into practice. Things you can do as soon as you wake up in the morning, whenever you sit down and have a meal, whenever you're going for a walk. All these different experiences and moments could be opportunities for you to grow and to practice being better connected with yourself, so when you do encounter the real challenges, you know how to handle them. Trust me on this. I used to be the kind of person that whenever someone said a negative comment or just something didn't work out my way, it brought me down to the gutter. I didn't know how to step out of it. My mind just stayed in that negative space thinking about it over and over. But now I feel like things are kind of different. For example, whenever someone leaves a negative comment on one of my videos or says something mean to me, I recognize it's not a reflection of who I am as a person, it's a reflection of their own suffering. They don't know how to deal with their thoughts and feelings. They haven't practiced any meditative activities, and because of that, they're just kind of letting it out on other people just because they don't know how to handle it. And I know the best thing to do in that moment is to focus inward rather than outward, to not pay attention to all the squabble and things going outside, but to remember that I'm someone that's lovable. I'm someone that matters, and I can only achieve that by looking deeply within myself. But now I want to know, what do you think? Are your negative thoughts holding you back and just tearing your life apart? Leave your comments down below and we'll talk about it. And if you want to learn more about how to learn and grow, check out my book, Embracing the Awkward. The link for it's going to be up there on the screen. And also tap on the playlist to watch other videos in this Embracing the Awkward series, where I break down different chapters and ideas that I talk about in my book. On that note, guys, I'll catch you tomorrow. As always, love and peace.